Hello everyone and welcome back to Procurement in the Park. I'm Schuh and today I want to speak directly to those of you who are just entering the workforce, especially if you're considering a career in procurement. There's a big difference between my generation, those of us from the tail end of the baby boom and the early Generation X, and today's Generation Z, who are now readying themselves for the job market. When I started my career in the mid-90s, it felt like the job market was crowded and competitive. It was very hard to stand out, and landing a good job seemed like a long shot. But here's the thing. Today's demographic landscape has changed dramatically. Now, labor shortages are a common issue across industries, creating a wealth of opportunities for young people entering the workforce. Of course, I understand that on a personal level, finding a great job may feel just as difficult as it did in my time. But today's young professionals, your generation, are approaching work with higher expectations. You want more than just a job. You want a workplace that offers meaningfulness, purpose, and a positive culture. And that's a wonderful shift in mindset. But one thing that hasn't changed much since I entered the workforce is that people today are just as clueless about procurement as I was when I began. So now they turned on the fountain. And let me take you back to January 1st, 1995. I just started as a consultant, and over the Christmas holidays I happened to read a book that would change everything for me. The Machine That Changed the World. It's a classic business book, and if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Back then, it was simply revolutionary. The book outlined how Toyota and other Japanese car makers were using lean manufacturing principles to outcompete the big American car companies and even European car makers. Reading that book made me credible when I started my first project at Mercedes-Benz. It gave me the context I needed to understand what was happening around me. And more importantly, it enabled me to say something that sounded intelligent every once in a while. And then there were my colleagues. Some of them were 20, 30, or even 40 years older than me. These were the people who had spent decades mastering their craft. And I made it my mission to spend as much time with them as possible. They taught me things I could never have learned from books or formal training. Hans explained how the car industry operates. Franz taught me how to do benchmarking. And then there was Richard, who gave me one of the best pieces of advice I've ever received. If you want to be smart and informed, read the Financial Times every day. And this brings me to the advice I want to give to young professionals entering procurement today, straight out of school. First, understand your industry. Take the time to learn about key trends, challenges, and innovations affecting your company and its competitors. Read the most important publications that cover your sector. This knowledge will help you build rapport with cross-functional stakeholders like engineers, finance experts, and marketeers. It will give you the confidence to participate in conversations that go beyond just procurement and make you more valuable to your team. Second, get close to your experienced colleagues. Some of them have spent years or even decades mastering procurement, and they have a wealth of knowledge to share. Try to spend time with them, ask questions, and absorb as much as you can. And if you're lucky, one or two of them might even become informal mentors, helping you, guide you as you navigate your career. And finally, don't sweat too much about all these technical details of procurement. You'll pick it up along the way. In my experience, understanding how your industry operates and building relationships with experienced colleagues is far more valuable than having all the procurement terminology and processes memorized when you first start. So for those of you just starting out, remember this. Procurement may not be as widely understood as other fields, but that doesn't mean it's any less important. With the right mindset, one that is focused on learning, relationship building, and curiosity, you will be well on your way to success. The opportunity is out there, and with some guidance from experienced professionals and a strong foundation in your industry, you will thrive. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Schuh, and this has been Procurement in the Park. Stay tuned for more advice on building a successful career in procurement.